Michael Saylor's Bitcoin infinite money glitch is spreading like the plague as we had another major corporation now announce that they're going to be a Bitcoin holding companies. But what is everybody missing? And what does all this mean for the Bitcoin cycle here going forward? We'll get into all of that. But first, let's dive into Nakamoto, the great company that just started with a major raise that is started by the one and only David Bailey, the founder of Bitcoin Magazine, literally the biggest and maybe potentially the most influential company in Bitcoin. But first, let's dive in to Nakamoto. They've raised a total of 710 million through PIPE and convertible notes, making the largest capital raise to launch a Bitcoin treasury and the largest PIPE of any public crypto-related transaction. David Bailey, also known as the founder of Bitcoin Inc. and UTXO, to lead the combined company as CEO. So they're going to continue to do this. Now, before we dive into all of this, I saw a great thread from Bitcoin for Corporations that broke it all down for us so we don't have to get into too much of the nitty gritty, even though Nakamoto is absolutely revolutionary. So this marks the largest capital raise. It's about $1.12 per share, $200 in senior secured convertible notes, and 200 plus investors already across 6 continents. So they've been building in the shadows and they continue to raise and raise and raise and doing all this very quickly and quietly. Now, why are they doing it quietly? Similarly to what Jack Mallers did at 21, they don't want to tell everybody that they're buying all this Bitcoin just yet. Now, let's dive in and keep going into the nitty gritty details here. The combined company will hold Bitcoin on its balance sheet and pursue growth in Bitcoin per share. Now, this is revolutionary. I think the Bitcoin per share is absolutely changing the game. It's turning the whole corporate strategy on its head. Why would anybody want to look at dollars per share, how much return they're getting per share? No, not so fast, my friend. It is all about how much Bitcoin can they get per share and how can they continue to increase this number. Now, with that, they've had the leadership of David Bailey, who has the biggest media company in all of Bitcoin, basically behind him because he's got now he's got this company and he's got this largest media outlet. And then he's gotten very large raises with some notables: Adam Back, Balaji, Semlar Scientific, Jian Wu of BitDeer, Richard B. Salinas, who is the only billionaire from Mexico, and on top of it, the CEO of Metal Planet also. And now they've had Van Eck, Parify, Off the Chain, Kingsway. Like, all of these big guys are already in and doing all this, right? So a future is coming where every balance sheet, public or private, holds Bitcoin. Now, before we keep diving into this, let's dive in to how many of these companies now have Bitcoin on the balance sheet. According to BitcoinTreasuries.net, we already have 101 publicly traded companies with Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Now, private companies, it's a little harder to tell, but we do have 26 private companies now having Bitcoin on the balance sheet, at least at a minimum. There's most likely more of the small businesses and everything else, but it's starting to accelerate. And there's more and more companies and corporations that are going to be implementing this great Michael Saylor MSTR flywheel. Now, the infinite money glitch, as I coined it, and Michael Saylor has coined it himself, for those of you that haven't come along very often, for those of you that have this is one of my favorite infographics that I've ever seen because it just explains Michael Saylor's infinite money glitch so easily and distinctly. But let's go over it. The MSTR issues debt to buy more Bitcoin. So they issues convertible notes, they do raises, they do all these different things to buy more Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin price increases. And then MSTR by proxy, their market cap increases. Then their market cap increases their weight in indices. So MicroStrategy, MSTR, they are now a part of the NASDAQ 100 as it stands right now, right? They could be a part of that S&P 500 here very, very soon. And I've got some speculation that I think that they might be. But anyway, let's get back to the point. Then they will issue more equity to buy Bitcoin because their weight in the indices has gone up. So their volume has gone up on their shares because their weight in the indices has increased. Then as Bitcoin increases, the market cap increases, and the indices increases, they'll issue more equity to buy Bitcoin. Thus the flywheel. So then they're repeating it, repeating it, repeating it. So the infinite money glitch goes on. And what do you know? Strategy acquired another 14,000 Bitcoin, 13.3, excuse me, at 1.4 billion like the GOAT at just under that 100K mark per Bitcoin, and has achieved a Bitcoin yield of 15.5% year to date. So everybody was screaming and crying as Bitcoin was crashing and burning here earlier this year. But MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor were like, not so fast, my friend. We are seeing this accelerate, right? We've already seen now some of the biggest players in the world, right, start to get into this. I mean, many people want to undermine Tether, undermine Jack Mallers, undermine all these people and say, hey, you know what? This is just Bitcoin companies. They're just coming together, doing all these crazy things. That's not even close to remotely the case. We have so much money coming in on these Bitcoin corporations and just strictly seems like Bitcoin holding companies that it's going absolutely bananas. Now, we had literally the biggest raise for any company to buy Bitcoin announced that like a week and a half ago. What is this? What day? April 23rd. So less than a month ago. We had the biggest raise announced then. And then what did Nakamoto do? They one-upped them. So Tether, backed by SoftBank, and as well as Cantor Fitzgerald. And as many of you guys know, Cantor Fitzgerald is the guy behind that is Howard Lubnick, or formerly the guy behind that is Howard Lubnick. Howard Lubnick is now sitting at the right hand of Donnie T. So with all that, we've got a lot of interconnection here with the United States government and these Bitcoin corporations. Obviously, Donald Trump spoke at the Bitcoin conference last year. We've got JD Vance speaking at it this year. So David Bailey's got a very close relationship with this cabinet, and it seems like, he's going to continue pushing that along. But anyway, regardless, we're seeing this infinite money glitch now start to accelerate. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is now deflationary due to Strategy's Bitcoin purchases, which is really interesting because, all right, Bitcoin has had its fair share of critics saying all this and that. It's too inflationary. It's got too much volatility. Oh my God, it really just can't continue to get that going. But either way, we are seeing Strategy start to increase their Bitcoin purchases. So Strategy, a Bitcoin treasury company, now as it's known, has accumulated Bitcoin at a faster rate than total miner output, giving supply capped asset of negative 2.33 annual deflation rate. So they're scooping up Bitcoin at a rate that is faster than miners can even put it out, right? For the amount of money that they're getting it. So because MSTR is doing that and now other corporations are doing that, this is lining up for a very, very big supply squeeze. And now, you guys are always telling me, hey, you overuse that supply shock. It is something that, we might never see in Bitcoin. But look at what we're seeing. We're seeing multiple corporations start to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. We're seeing the raises get extremely larger. And we're seeing corporations that are buying Bitcoin and putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet, like GameStop, do it at 5 to 6 to X of what MicroStrategy started with initially. Obviously, Bitcoin is a lot bigger and a lot higher of a price than we initially saw. But what we are seeing is we're seeing this accelerate, and now these total supply, excluding MSTR, is starting to decrease at a rapid pace. And so all of these treasury companies are now going to see this MSTR just keep on hammering it, figuring it all about, right? So what's going to happen? We already see my man, friend of the program, Dylan LeClaire, already talking about it. Metaplanet's BTC yield. We've got Metaplanet as the small version of MSTR doing this over in Japan. And now we've got bigger guys coming in. The big dogs are coming in. They want a big dog, coming to buy all this Bitcoin. And they're doing it at such a rapid pace that something is going to have to pop eventually. We've got the United States potentially talking about finding ways to buy Bitcoin that does not include using taxpayer dollars. On top of that, we are seeing the banks essentially starting to throw money at these corporations, allowing them to buy Bitcoin with money that we've never seen in the space before. So this is not something that we can really describe. And of course, many of right? All right, Bitcoin, we're looking at the assets ranked by market cap, right? I mean, we've got Bitcoin as now the sixth biggest asset by market cap. And I'm going to put that up for you guys here in a second as I get this thing humming here. But we've got Bitcoin as the sixth biggest asset by market cap. It's already passed Google, and it's got Amazon in its sights. So these guys are looking at Bitcoin and saying, this looks extra juicy. And I'm going to get into why some more executives are saying Bitcoin adoption for corporations is somewhat inevitable. Not somewhat, that it is inevitable. But first, I want to give you guys a chance to get some Bitcoin for free. All you have to do is show up to my live streams. So get your Lightning wallets ready, because my friends over at the Bitcoin Well are absolute psychopaths. They give you Bitcoin every single time you buy Bitcoin. So let's get this thing humming along here as I'm trying to just got to refresh this page here. We've got a little bit of a slow connection over here, but there we go. We've got the Bitcoin Well. Now, remember, you could go to bitcoinwell.com/greencandle, get this all going for yourself today. But in the meantime, if you go there and you sign up, I will give you a free Wishing Well token immediately. That Wishing Well token gives you a chance to win up to 1 million sats. Then you get 500 Wishing Well tokens, which is all you need for one toss, just buying Bitcoin. So you sign up Bitcoin Well today, you'll get 2 chances to win 1 million sats. And then you have $5 or 5 points, for every $10 recurring buy. So set up those DCAs. It's strictly self-custodial, so you'll get that directly to cold storage. Now get your Lightning wallets ready, because here we go. Boom, 471 sats straight to the dome piece. So all you guys in the chat, All Nighter Hider, say smoke that like Cheech and Chong. Welcome to the chat, boys. We've been talking about a Bitcoin short squeeze forever, and I agree we have. But this is why you need to keep that $25 DCA you're talking about in the chat. I know we got Johnny, we've got McLovin, all you guys in here, always dedicated, showing up. I greatly appreciate it. But we've been talking about this Bitcoin supply squeeze because the number of coins on exchanges, and I will bring that up now, Bitcoin on exchanges has been rapidly decreasing, right? So the Bitcoin on exchanges is decreasing, and we're seeing that 24-hour change keep on going down, falling down, falling down. I mean, look at this, 520 coins off the exchange. We start to see that overall Bitcoin on exchange balance just keep on falling down. And so Bitcoin on exchanges are decreasing. The amount that is being bought, even by MicroStrategy, is now showing a negative, and we see this, right? So look at this. We see that Bitcoin price increase, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoin balances on exchanges starts to decrease. When that starts to decrease, then what are we looking at, right? You're looking at the buying power of MSTR and others rapidly increase, right? We're looking at the BTC total supply, excluding MSTR holdings, rapidly decrease. And then on top of it, we're seeing the amount on exchanges decrease as well. And the friends over at Bitcoin Well don't make it easier on this because they're strictly self-custodial. So when you buy Bitcoin with the Bitcoin Well, it'll go strictly to your self-custody. So go to bitcoinwell.com/green candle. This is where you sign up here. And if you've got over 50K looking to get a big bag of Bitcoin, I think we all should be looking to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have 50 racks just sitting around. But if you do, you could go book a call with that specialist right here today. And you can use a Bitbox. I've got my Bitbox sitting right next to me. So guys, don't try to hack this or anything. But my Bitbox O2, it's strictly air gap. So you won't be able to do that. But you go to bitbox.swiss/green candle and you can hold this all in self-custody. You go to there, you go to the Bitcoin only edition. That's what I prefer. But if you guys got something else, they've also got that for you. But scroll on down. They got a concierge service if you'd like it. But you can go Bitcoin or Bitbox. You can go and store that all on the punch plate and in your hardware wallet that they provide because they are the best. You guys should be going ahead and doing that because as I'm showing you guys, right, this MSTR total supply, excluding MSTR holdings, is rapidly decreasing, right? So we've got now MicroStrategy, now known as Strategy B, continuing to scoop up more and more Bitcoin. I don't even know if this is including today. No, this is, oh yeah, Bitcoin held since August 10th, 2020. I mean, it's absolutely crazy, right? Their profit and loss, they've already got a 50% increase and they keep buying like absolute psychopaths. But Kraken CFO has predicted that more than 10,000 public companies could own Bitcoin in a few years. Look, that's not Green Candle giving you hopium, right, guys? That's not Green Candle telling you guys, hey, this is what Kraken CEO is saying. CFO, excuse me. Now, let's compare that to the numbers right now. We literally have 101, right? So let's do some quick math here where we've got 10,000 divided by 101. That's a 99x increase on what we have today. And when we have that, we've got, it'll go absolutely bananas. Yes, thousands. Bitwise, Bitcoin Standard Corporation. So Bitwise has also been in on it, right? To everywhere wearing an orange tie. It's good to be on the team with you. Michael Saylor. He's been, just drastically being an advocate for Bitcoin for an extremely long time. Oh, whoops, sharing the wrong tab. So share this one. The execs, right? So in his typical spiel, you might have heard before, most asset classes don't beat monetary inflation. Bitcoin allows Uber drivers in Nigeria to outperform the smartest money managers in NYC. It's a better version of gold than he expects it to hit 13 million a coin by 2045. And they own over 500,000 at that point in time. They own more now, right? We were showing you this earlier. They own 555,000 Bitcoin. We did it. It was so brainless. Everything that all of these companies do is extremely complicated. We could not create NVIDIA chips or create iPhones. Every one of you can copy me. So look at this. The Bitcoin held by public companies. I mean, of course, we see MSTR rapidly increase this, but this green block up here, that is also increasing too, right? So the amount of Bitcoin that is increasing on companies' balance sheet is just rapidly growing. So the corporate balance sheet Bitcoin battle. Wow, what an alliteration I'm using here. The corporate balance sheet battle is just continually humming along. And we're going to continue to see this, right? We're going to continue to see these corporations start to scoop up Bitcoin and at a rate that we haven't seen before. I mean, we've got Nakamoto, right? The largest raise ever. We literally had that, the largest raise ever a month ago. Then David Bailey came and beat them. So at this point, it seems like everybody's looking to beat all of these guys. And we've got great advocates for Bitcoin behind it, right? We've got Bitcoin for corporations now that is literally just strictly trying to help these companies and corporations get more Bitcoin and put it on their balance sheet. And they've also got a great kickoff party for those of you who are going to be at the Bitcoin Vegas conference. You guys can go to the Bitcoin kickoff party. I'll be here. I'll be having a live podcasting event while I'm doing this. And you guys could go to here. You can search Bitcoin kickoff party. Or I'm going to put this link in the chat. I encourage you guys all to come out here if you're going to the Vegas conference. Hang out with me and hang out with others. I believe drink and food is included. So they're great. And they've got a lot of tickets for sale still. There's over 120 people already RSVP for this. They've got a golf championship as well if you guys want to go tee it high and let it fly. But either way, this ticket, one of the best values you're going to get at the conference because it's less than 0.01 of a Bitcoin at this point, right? We've got Bitcoin sitting around 102,000 and it's still humming along. It's showing some strength even with all of this, right? We're starting to see Bitcoin start to truck up and be the resilient the resilient Bitcoin that we know and love here. All Nighter Hider saying it's smoking it like the roach. Yeah, Down Under Blue saying, I hope you're not driving. I do as well. I hope so as well. All Nighter Hider. Don't get too wild here, getting too amped up on this great live stream where we're talking about Bitcoin for corporation, because I know you could get bullish and you're saying, hey, I might need to take the edge off, I might need to cool it down a bit. But I think things are starting to ramp up here and ramp up at a rapid pace that we haven't seen before. And it's strictly just because of how much money we're seeing, right? The attention of Bitcoin. Like not too long ago, Bitcoin was the 9th, 10th, 11th asset on the planet. It was lower than silver when it came to market cap. Now we're going to start to see this thing start to truck up as we're seeing more and more attention towards Bitcoin. So I think that this is going to continue. And I think the way that Bitcoin has continuously ramped up, we're also seeing some major corporations look at it. We're seeing Meta. For those of you guys who listen to my podcast, know I've been thinking, hey, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg has the chance to be a bigger Bitcoin bull than Michael Saylor. Now, before you tell me I'm crazy here, Meta has a larger market cap than MSTR when they first started this Bitcoin treasury. Mark Zuckerberg also has majority voting rights when it comes to Meta, which no other CEO has at his position. And he's got 2 goats. One of them's named Bitcoin. Mark Zuckerberg once killed a goat with a laser gun and had it for dinner. This guy's crazy. But he shared his 2 pictures of his 2 goats, and one of them is called Bitcoin. So it seems like Mark Zuckerberg, it's leading all there. This is the quality journalism that you guys come to Green Candle for. You're looking at this, right? Mark Zuckerberg. I'm just connecting some dots here, folks. Then we've also got, this billionaire, Tim Draper over here, also saying, hey, billionaire Tim Draper says it's irresponsible for businesses to not buy Bitcoin and forecasted 250,000 in 2025. And I think that that's bearish. But either way, what we're seeing is billionaires with a lot of weight, a lot of pull, telling all of these guys, you better be buying Bitcoin. You better be buying it quick. We see Mark Zuckerberg starting to do it. So the shift in Bitcoin balance sheets is here. And I think that that's going to continue rising up. So don't forget to smoke that like Cheech and Chong. Hit the subscribe button with the bell notification so you guys know when I'm giving you free sats here on a very current or a very close to daily basis. And come quickly, because as Down Under Blues is saying, if we see the Mag 7 start to buy BTC, it's game 7, or it's game over, not game 7. But I honestly think that, we might see that happen here pretty soon. I project at least one in 2025, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's where I think we're going. So hit that like button, smoke it like Cheech and Chong, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and I'll see you guys all at the next one.